They were 45 minutes and before it hit me this wasn't a dinner. It was a courtroom. The roast chicken sat untouched, cooling on the table, while his mother leaned back and smiled. A sharp smile. All teeth, no warmth. One by one they took their turns. His sister, hair pulled tight into a severe bun. His uncle, hands folded like a lawyer preparing a closing argument before every insult. His father, wearing concern like a costume, insisting this was all for my benefit. They called it tradition, a bonding exercise. Then they pulled me apart piece by piece, like a defective product under inspection. My career was too ambitious, my laughed loud. My past too complicated, my presence unsettling. Each criticism, delivered calmly, efficiently, as if rehearsed. My fiancé sat beside me the entire time. Hands clasped, eyes locked on his plate, silent. That silence was deafening. When the room finally ran out of words, his mother tilted her head toward me. "Well," she said, "your turn." I inhaled and smiled. Because I knew this wasn't the beginning of anything, it was the end. I'd met him 3 years earlier in a rain-soaked bookstore. Lights flickering like they weren't sure they wanted to stay on. He held the door for me. I teased him about the book in his hand. He laughed teasy. Charming. He learned my coffee. Order in a week, my fears in a month. Promised me safety in a year. He warned me his family was traditional. I thought that meant Sunday dinners, old recipes, loud opinions. I didn't know it meant cruelty wrapped in custom. At first, they welcomed me, smiles, hugs, compliments with tiny hooks hidden inside. I told myself love required patience, that I was strong enough to earn my place. He told me I already had it. That lie was soft, almost merciful. The changes came quietly. He stopped defending me. Then he stopped listening. His phone angled away when he texted. He started repeating his mother's words, too sensitive. "You're overthinking. They mean well." I found the message by accident. His tablet sensed while he was in the shower. A name I didn't recognize. A heart emoji I did. She understands our family dynamic. She knows how to fit in. I didn't cry. I closed the app and started paying attention. I watched him rehearse conversations before calling his parents. Watched him correct my tone in public. Watched him fade into a version of himself that only survived if I stayed quiet. That's when heartbreak hardened into clarity. I didn't confront him. I planned. I met with a lawyer before I ever spoke to him. Learned what was truly mine, and what had only been promised. I moved my savings, updated my will, archived screenshots, logged dates. I befriended his cousin, the one they always underestimated. I volunteered at his mother's charity and learned exactly where the money went and where it didn't. I let them believe I was shrinking, growing smaller. It made them careless. When he proposed 2 months after I uncovered the truth, I said, yes. He needed me agreeable. I needed time. Back at the table. Those 45 minutes burned into my skin. I stood up. The room braced itself, waiting for tears, apologies, gratitude for their honesty. "I appreciate the feedback," I said. My voice was steady. Traditions have a way of revealing who people really are. They relaxed. This was familiar territory. Then I kept going. I learned something else too. Traditions survive because no one questions them. I finally looked at him. He met my eyes and flinched. "I know about her," I said once. No name, no explanation. The silence that followed collapsed in on itself. I slid an envelope across the table. His father reached for it automatically. Authority by reflex. Inside were copies, bank statements, messages, donation discrepancies, his cousin's handwriting, missing charity funds traced back to accounts with familiar last names. "I sent the originals to the board this morning," I said, "and to the firm handling the merger." His mother's smile fractured. I turned to him. "You thought replacing me would fix this. You thought fitting in meant choosing someone smaller." He stood too quickly. "This isn't the time, Mo." "It is." I nodded toward the door. "Because I won't be here when the lawyers arrive." That was when he understood not just what I knew, but who now held the power. It wasn't her. It was me. I had stepped out of the role they designed and into the only one that mattered. The one with leverage. I left before dessert. Outside, the rain had returned soft, relentless. My phone buzzed nonstop. Messages stacked up, calls I ignored. Later, I heard what happened next. The board meeting cut short, the merger frozen. Questions asked by people who don't smile when they speak. He called at midnight, then again at dawn. "I never meant to hurt you," he said when I finally answered. "I know," I replied. "You meant to keep me quiet." He cried. "I didn't. I don't miss him. I miss the woman I almost became for him." Traditions are powerful. Silence is too. But timing is everything. They wanted to tear me apart. I let them think they had. And when it was finally my turn to speak, I didn't raise my voice. I ended the tradition.